Hello, I am Sentimus Prime, and here I will be unboxing and building the Blokees, the Transformers Blokees Rise of the Classic Class Arcee from the Rise of the Beast uh, movie. Alright, go. Alright. Here's the box. Yeah, looking pretty good. It's yeah, not looking too bad. We got down here have the name of the figure, have like the number of pieces that the kit uses. Also features a little thing that says the chest and eyes have lights that can glue. Yes. No brush required, no glue required, no cutters required. Alright. Transformers Model Kits Experience by Blokees. Here's a look at the top of the box. Here's a look at this side of the box, which has like a more neutral stance for the figure, some accessories that it comes with, and a look at the figure from the back. On this side we have a closer shot at the head sculpt, as well as the faction that this figure is. Here's a look at the bottom. Not much going on, but I finally realized what Blokees was thinking about when they were placing these like seemingly useless like dead space like rectangle areas. It's I believe like that it's so that like stores like Old School here where I got this from, not sponsored. They were able to I believe Blokees like ends up like have thought about like people placing stickers with price labels on it. So what they ended up doing was giving them a space for them to do that. A place where it's out of the way of the rest of the box. Oh, with the rest of the like box art stuff. And yeah, that's like now that I know like what this can be used for, I actually think this spot was actually kind of clever. And they have it for the Galaxy class like blind box ones too. So that's really neat. Hello, Quinn. Quinn Kuvaz. 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 Hello, Quinn. How are you doing? Here's a look at the back of the box, which shows us some of the sprues, shows the figure, as well as a sort of bio thing for the character. About sharpshooter, about warrior, 2.58 meters, M&Ms. Well, she's definitely taller than that. Autobot. It also shows us a look at like the included display, displays, so that's pretty cool. That's pretty nice. And with that, we can go ahead and start getting into the box. So how's the chat doing? Okay. Close that up, and we can place that there. So, bring that down a little bit so we can see what's included. Okay. So what appears to be in here are this a little pamphlet thing, a little like instruction, booklet thing, a little instruction like flip out kind of piece of paper thing. Got the instructions, got like a piece of paper with some other bits, user's manual stuff in there. This, which appears to be like a small sticker sheet for the display base pieces, which also here are the display base pieces. Okay. We also got 2 bags of sprue pieces, a larger one and a smaller one, as well as a baggie of parts and stuff that are not on sprues. So looking like a bit of like clear parts, as well as what appears to be the portion that includes the lights, the light function stuff. That's pretty neat. Let's start off with this one. So here we have. This is neat to see, I guess. This is something that I'm very familiar with seeing when it comes to the Blokees Galaxy version, blind boxes. This is a common thing to see for me. got like the sprue dedicated to a couple of the joints as well as one of the like shoulder pieces, and also a Autobot and Decepticon like badge thingy. And apparently we can just tear these off. Without the use of any cutters. There we have that. And yes, all the sprues are like this, where you can just tear them from the sprues, and there they are. But something definitely to note when tearing them off, they still have their like nub marks. If you look at them, they still have the marks from the sprues, because you're just like tearing them from the sprue. Thankfully, like if you just like buff it out with your nail a little bit, it tends to be less visible, which is something I tend to do with these pieces after I get them out of the sprues. I tend to just rub them a little bit with my fingernail, and they tend to be less visible. Alright. And since I don't feel like doing that for all of the pieces, I do fortunately have a pair of sprue cutters on hand. So let's start cutting off, because even though you are able to even though if you are able to just tear them out of the sprues and not have to worry about damaging them, I'd still like to use the cutters for them, more so for like a more authentic like model kit experience. So if we start off, so we can just start like cutting. It definitely makes them less visible. So that's probably going to be what I'm doing. Hello, Rebecca. How are you doing? That's good. I wonder if it's the art in the background. Not because it's still. I'm doing good. Right now, I'm building a model kit from Blokees. Are there differences between these two? Doesn't seem to be. Okay. Yes, it is. Let's take a look at the instructions. Oh yeah, I forgot to check out the other baggies of screws as well. So let's go ahead and check these out real quick. This one has smaller. This baggie has smaller screws. It has this gray one with some pre-painted parts. It appears to be a couple pieces for the guns, as well as a couple pieces for the wheels. Cool. This one is more like pre-painted parts. It's also like it's the same one as this one. It's like this really shiny, like metallic red color. It's really like swirly kind of metallic color. Looks really good. Also some like pre-painted stuff, like we got like Arcee's name on there, as well as some white on this piece. Then for this one, we appear to have a sprue where it's just the face. It's like this sort of shiny, like creamy color. So it's like an off-white kind of. It's like a shiny off-white kind of color. And it's also like pre-painted a little bit, like just over like the eyebrows and like on the cheeks a little bit. There's a little bit of paint splotching on like the side of the mouth. So there is that. Let's tear that one off. Okay. I'm a little bummed with the paint splotching, but it's fortunately not a big deal for me. So there we have that piece. This baggie is just the like base pieces. Not too bad. It's like a nice, like larger kind of base piece, and they also can just slide together like so. So that's nice. And finally, we have this baggie. Hold on. What? Oh. Oh no. What? That can't. Please say it isn't so. No, no. Oh, did I just forget them in the box? Oh, I just forgot them in the box. Okay. Okay. Whoa. That was a close one. Goodness. We have another baggie of sprues. Goodness. I was starting to think that for a minute I was starting to think that I might have accidentally got a dud kit that was missing sprues. Because I noticed that that it was lacking a white sprue to fill in the white spots. Yeah, here it is, as well as a very light pink sprue. Let's go ahead and check these out. Oh, that was a close one. That would have been dreadful. So we got the nice little light pink sprue. Got a nice little light pink sprue. That's cool. Got a off-white, shiny off-white sprue, which has some of the parts for the head and the lower legs and the feet. And then we have a separate sprue for her hands. Ain't that nice? Sweet. Been saved. Now we can also check out the parts in here, which are not on a sprue. We have this piece, which will light up as soon as which can light up as soon as we remove this tab right here. We have removed that, so at any point we just click it and it turns on. Sweet. And it'll stay on for at least a little bit. Hello, Richard Hansen. How are you doing? I also got these pieces. These pieces look pretty cool. It's like a sort of effect, dynamic effect piece to display your figure. I also got some clear blue pieces for the figure. It's a different kind of hole joint, as well as a clear blue piece for the head, as well as some clear pieces which seem to be for the which seems to be a sort of a display stand. That's going to be interesting. That's going to be pretty cool. Oh, accidentally light that up again. That's a bit sensitive. That one, the light on that one seems to be, because I barely just touched that one. Seems to be a little bit more sensitive than the last one. But we'll see. Start cutting up the pieces from the sprues. Got That's exactly the kind of thing that would happen. Okay. Very nice. Hello, Brandley. How are you doing? These ones do seem to be mirrored, so I'm gonna keep a close eye on these ones. I just built that like an hour ago. Ah, interesting. Oh, very nice. Yeah. How was the building experience for you? Ooh. So, cool. Yeah, that's really cool. these pieces. Alright, that's one spur down. Well, kind of three, but the other one's like pretty small. And then, we can go ahead and start putting some things together. Oh, this is like a clear piece for the windshield. Okay. Like the windshield, like for the chest. Alright. We can put that there. As it straightens out a little bit. I guess we could start with this side. Then start with this side. Okay. And then we can try to cut pieces as we need them. Alright. So it makes sense to start with the light up brick piece. Alright. There's a little like screw end there so that if you find that this thing ain't lighting up, you can open this up and switch out the battery. Cool. So to start with that, we can take the chest piece and start building off of that. So we got the shield piece that clips onto there. Ball joint. Snaps into there. We got this little thing. Got this thing, which can plug into here. Oh, that makes it light up. The force from me attaching this made it light up. Should have expected that. Alright. Then from here we can attach this piece to the front, then this piece onto the back, sandwich that together. Now we're starting to get in some of that detail. What about this? It turns off soon. Then after that we can place some red pieces in. cut up some red pieces. Put that in the camera. I need to like block that is and got this like really nice like shiny metallic color. Also kind of slightly translucent, which is interesting. I can kind of see through it a little. It starts to become more obvious when I put it up against the light. And then with that, we're done with that sprue. But we also need parts from the other red sprue. Specifically, we need this chest piece. Chest piece, and while we're at it, we can cut these pieces up too. Very nice. And with that, we're done with the other red sprue. Don't think we need those pieces right now, but we definitely will need them later. So back to building the kit. We take these two pieces, and from the looks of it, this one is supposed to face the front, and this one is supposed to face the back. I believe this is the front, which means this plugs into the back, and this gets plugged into the front. That's a really nice color. That's a really nice color. And then the chest piece can be plugged in as well. Oh, it also has like a little bit of detail for the lights. That's pretty cool. Can the waist can rotate. That's nice. Then after that we can take this piece, plug it into the oh, it's lighting up again. Plug that in. And with one part, we start to get a whole lot of back details in. Very nice. Man, that's looking pretty good. The next thing we're going to need are tires. So let's go ahead and cut up the tires. Cut up the bike wheels. That's one bike wheel. And the other is going to be here. And then, because we're already cutting up the sprue, let's take the gun pieces as well. No, I forgot to cut that one off too. There we go. And we're done with the other gunmetal sprue. And here's what appears to be the guns. And that, you also need these two pieces. These are obviously different. So from the looks of it, take a look at the instructions. Okay. So from the looks of it, this one with the brake wheel gets plugged into this side. And the other one, which is this one, gets plugged into this wheel. Oh, it actually spins. That's a cool trick. This one can spin too, but I don't think it's as freely as the other one. It spins. So then, that we can take these pieces and plug them into these, plug the ball joints into these socket joints. Yes, I'm going to do that. They really didn't need to make these wheels spin. Well, that's really cool. That's so nice. So we have those, and with that, I think that's the torso done. That's pretty cool. Also got some nice back detailings in there. That's nice. up next, we can work on the right arm. So for the right arm, we can that piece and this piece. We're going to use those now, and we're going to cut these ones up. Use these for later when we build the other arm. And with that, we're done with the pink sprue. We're going to cut the hands off. Cut the hands from the sprues because that's going to be easy to identify. Nice. Just checking in on the chats real quick. How's the chat doing? We're done with that sprue. Oh, this is the last sprue we need to cut up. So let's do that real quick. You enjoying what you're seeing so far? Okay. And with that, we're done with the cutting of the sprues. So I don't think we're going to need this anymore. Let's use some of the empty sprues to... Oh wait, forgot about these pieces. Gonna need them just one more time. Yeah. Bam. There we go. With that, we're done with the last sprue, and we're setting these off to the side. Very nice. Now we can focus on putting the kit together. Alright. I believe these are different somehow. These ones are ever so slightly different. Right, it's probably not even noticeable, but it is to me. I believe we use this one for this arm. Hope I'm right. But if not, we can swap it out because I believe the like pink parts we're adding to here don't matter as much to like the main build. Then we can attach. Yeah, more so matters for like the bicep pieces. So that plugs into there. There we go. Then these are mirrors, so it matters which one of these I use. I think this one goes here. Yeah, I think that's right. Which means I'm going to need the piece that corresponds with this one. Which I believe is this one. Alright. Very nice. And by adding the hand, we have now finished the right arm. That's looking pretty good. That's pretty cool. And to keep things from being too repetitive, we're going to work on the leg next. So that we can set aside the arm pieces. And work on, well, move this. To keep the, oh, I accidentally bumped into this, it's lighting up now. Alright. Checking in on the chat. How's the chat doing? Nope, that's falling off. Please don't fall down on me. Come on. That works. Kind of. There we go. Not really. Leg. We're working on the leg next. It means, I believe, we're going to be using these pieces. Alright. We go to up the knee joints. I doubt we're gonna use these because those just come in there. Come with the thing. I want to figure out their difference between these two pieces, and the answer is not really. Okay. Is there a difference between these two pieces? The answer is not really. So it's really just preference. Actually, no, these ones actually do have a difference in shape. Legs, right leg. So I believe that this one, since we're working on the right leg first, we use this one. Thank goodness I pointed that out. Yep. Then with that, we attach the, now that one, we attach the shin piece. Then we start to have what appears to be a lower leg. Really cool, really cool. I'm gonna figure out which one of these I use for the thigh. Has the triangles, a little ball joint. The ball joint facing this way, and the details facing that way. You plug this in. Okay. And then we have that. And with that, we can place the armor onto here. Place this armor piece facing this way. And attach that onto the back. And then this one with the printing goes towards the front. They attach by plugging them into ball joints, but because of how it's sculpted, it doesn't move like a ball joint. Okay. That actually gives me some CCBS vibes by attaching armor using ball joints and using its sculpting to allow it to not wiggle around as much. Definitely some CCBS vibes there. That's nice. I like that. Then we take one of these white pieces and one of these gunmetal pieces and attach these to each other to make a foot. And we plug that maybe it requires the other piece. See if it just okay, that's a very unsatisfying ball joint. Okay, yeah, so it's attached. Like I said, so it's attached. Am I being stupid? Come on. Fit in there. I am not pleased with these ankle wall joints. So they can attach, but there doesn't seem to be any place where they just lock in. Nor do they snap in, which is very unsatisfying. But from how it feels, as long as you're not barbaric with it, it should be fine. And then with that, we can build up the other leg. I like how satisfying the thighs are to put together. That's real nice. Is this going to be a pain for the other foot as well? Yep. Again, as long as from the feel of it, as long as you're not too barbaric with it, should hold. And then we have the legs. And then after that, we can assemble the other arm real quickly. Assemble the other arm. And there we have the other arm. There we have the other arm. There we go. Then after that, we just have the head, I believe. For the head, we attach the faceplate to this blue piece. Attach that to there. Now we see the eyeballs. Now we see the optics. The optics. We attach the sides of the head. So we attach the sides of the head. We attach this gunmetal piece onto the face. And then, finally, we can attach the top of the head and sandwich that in. There we have a rather sleek Arcee head. Alright. And I believe that, well, we still have a little bit more assembly, mostly for the base and display stand, which is interesting. Okay, those attach via ball joints. So we have this, which just attaches to this ball joint. I question how long this stand is going to last, but from the looks of it, it seems to be fine. And from the looks of it, we can just attach these clear pieces to the, just peg these into the, into the display. It says do it like this. Let's go ahead and move these out of the way. There we go. Should be done with those. This can apparently also plug into one of these. There we go. Then we have that. Set aside all the screws. Set these two parts aside because we're not going to be using these, because these are just the parts that came with one of the sprues. And with that, we can do a sort of final assembly thing. That's just lighting up again. So here we take the torso. You can start by attaching the legs. Attach the legs. We attach the arms. And then we attach the head. Look at that. And we attach the head. There we go. That's real cool. The head's kind of glowy a little bit, but under some light, it shouldn't be that noticeable. Hello, how are you doing? There we go. YT Udic and Comel. How are you doing? Yeah, this is pretty cool. Here's a look at it from the back. Huh. That's pretty neat. It is a bit on the tiny side, but that's no big deal. Still rather nice. Very nice. And apparently something else you can do is you can take these off of the ball joints. So something else that we can do is take these off the ball joints and attach them to the socket joints here on the legs. So let's attach those and see how they look. There. The foot came off. The foot, I dropped the foot. It's fine. I'm going to attach the foot. The foot came off again. There. Attach the other part. The foot. There we go. And with that, we have the bike wheels on the back of the legs instead. being a little bit rough with it. The, the foot keeps coming off on me. Yeah, that's real cool. Attaching the bikes on the back of the legs. Yeah, that's real nice. That's real nice. Something else we can do is we can remove the hands and attach one of the, and we can attach the gun sort of piece. So from the looks of it, we attach it to the little ball joint. Just snaps in like that. And with that, that's pretty cool. We can have her dual wield them real quick. That's pretty cool. And between the guns and the fact you can attach the bike wheels to the legs, you can replicate some iconic scenes from the Rise of the Beast movie. Like yeah, like ain't that really cool? And the wheels actually kind of, and weirdly enough, the wheels actually kind of help her stand a bit. Putting her into some poses. So that's nice. But something else that can help us out with poses is the display stand. So apparently what we're to do here is apparently just clip this around her torso like that. And then we can, and then with the ball joint, you can further put her in whatever flight pose and look at that. That's pretty cool. I like that. That's pretty nice. That's that is pretty cool. I do like how this one. I do like how this kit comes with a display stand. That's real nice. That's really cool. That's really cool. Try to take things around. It is a tad bit. This kit is only like a little tad bit finicky to pose around with, but it's not too bad. I do find the feet kind of annoying. That's pretty cool. I do like that. That's nice. Move this to the side a little bit so we can get a nice look at that. And that's really cool. Let's check on the chat again before we wrap things up. How are you guys doing? You got any thoughts on what you think about the kits so far? Actually, before I wrap things up, I actually want to actually want to see something. I actually want to try something. I'll be right back. And back. I brought in some transform. I actually brought in some Transformers figures to get an idea of size comparison between the and to get an idea for size comparison. But also, I want to see how well this figure scales with sort of mainline Transformer figures. So, I believe, with that back, we start removing the guns. Let's remove the guns, let's attach the hands. And let's go ahead and do a bit of a size comparison. Alright, so here's the classic class Arcee kit next to the an Optimus Prime, the Earthrise mold. The Earthrise mold was the Netflix figure. How would you say this fair? How do you say like this fares scale wise? I think it doesn't look too. I actually think it doesn't look too bad for scale. We also have a Bumblebee to scale with. She appears to be up just about the same size, like ever so slightly taller because she has like a larger helmet mostly. But aside from, yeah, they're pretty much same size. Alright, so there is that. I think that scales. I think that scales fine too. we also have another character from the live-action Transformers movie. We have Wheeljack. Of course, we're lighting that up. I'd say that scale's pretty good too. That's actually pretty good. That's actually not too bad. And of course, to finish off the, and of course, to complete the Rise of the Beast cast of Autobots. Well, I don't have Stratosphere. Only one. Who am I kidding? I do not have a Stratosphere. But you know who I do have? Mirage. Look at that. Look at that. Ain't that just a sight to behold? Ain't that neat? Let's go ahead and move these out of the way so we can wrap things up. So to wrap things up, here we go. Does anyone have anything to say before we wrap things up? Alright. So wrapping things up, what do I think of the kit? From opening it to building it, it was actually like really good overall. Had like really nice. I had a really nice time building it. I also kind of spooked myself a bit when tallying up the pieces, like trying to list out all the pieces because I thought that some of the screws were missing. So I got a little bit spooked by that. The building process was really good. Like the model kit building experience with this kit, I felt like it was really good. Like the light up feature is still really nice. There is a lot of nice detail and stuff. A lot of nice details and stuff. The colors of the pieces in here are really nice. I do like the colors. The colors are really good. the printing is nice too. The only I only really have I only kind of gripe with the feet because yeah, I wasn't too big on how the feet how weak the connection is for the feet. But yeah, as long as it's as long as you're not as long as I'm not too harsh with the articulating the feet. The feet are solid. They articulate. They hold poses well. They have good range of motion. The only thing is it's not the most durable part of the build. And also on that, the articulation of the kit is really nice, and from the looks of it, this might actually be a Blokees kit that might scale well with the rest of my Transformers figures. So that's nice. I do appreciate that. And also, the base is real nice too. I does have enough weapons, and it does have enough features and accessories to replicate whatever scenes you feel like in the movie. It also comes with these interesting effect parts for your stand, for your display base, and also a display stand, which was not something the Bumblebee came with. So that's also a nice bonus. And of course, the light up feature is nice too. I do enjoy that. So overall, the building experience was really nice. I enjoyed it. And at the prices that these kits are going for, yeah, it's honestly hard not to recommend them. Costs way less than a deluxe transformer nowadays, and you still get a lot of cool features and stuff. It's real nice. And yeah, with that, I think that'll be it for this live stream. If you enjoyed the stream, consider to like and subscribe, and maybe even interact with the chat if you want. And of course, I will be doing a great job with Arcee. Oh, thank you. And yeah, and with that, I think that'll be it with that. And of course, I will be streaming again next week. Oh yeah, I forgot to include the streaming schedule. I stream once a week on either Saturday, Sunday, or possibly even Fridays at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on either Saturday or Sunday, possibly Fridays, possibly Mondays. But for the most part, you can expect Saturdays and Sundays. And with that, that'll be it for this stream. If you enjoyed what you see or what you've seen, consider to like and subscribe, and maybe even interact with the chat if you want. And of course, I will be streaming again next week.